Zack Baker, a junior at South Eugene High School. My weight class is 145.
Michael, I'm 17. I am a junior at South Eugene High School, and I wrestle at 171. Started out, really small guys. Well, I guess we were a little bit heavy back then, but we started out, we were kind of the kids who got picked on, and we were all the little kids that they would throw around all the seniors. And now that we're juniors, we've seen all these changes go by. We started out, we didn't even have team uniforms, but when we were freshmen, and now we got these whole sweet.
Yeah, I think we just really developed as a whole. I mean, the team really came together. We started, trying to get more contributions, get more donations for it, and really coming out to the community as a whole. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't really a mat club. You kind of, Kenny might be there, Kenny might be there. We'd show up, but now it's more, we're bringing in the youth, any age, sex, race, anyone's welcome. I mean, that's just really helped our whole program develop, really. I mean, we have the middle schoolers here today. I don't think that would have happened maybe 5 years ago. We have practically a full varsity lineup, just only 2 spots. My freshman year, I mean, half our team was practically forfeits. Just really, I think the average wrestler comes out after playing football and they're like, I want to get in shape. But I mean, little do they know what a great sport it is. You have to give everything that you can to wrestling.
Wrestling is definitely something that you have to contribute yourself to a whole. I mean, it eats away your school time and your social life, but it's completely worth it. It's made me the strongest I've ever been, physically and mentally. I have this whole thing right now where I can't quit. I do that with everything. I apply it to my school. I apply it to anything I ever have to do in my life, really.
I would say wrestling is the most pure sport out there. If your parents, football or what other sports, I'm not saying there's any corruption or anything, but I mean, if your parents have a lot of money and they donate a lot, that could contribute to the kid in the varsity. On wrestling, it's pure. I mean, if you're the best, you're there. There's no really politics about it or anything like that. I don't know. I'd say it's probably the longest sport that's been out there. Probably right around with track and field. Definitely the most pure sport out there.
Wrestling is the most self-overcoming sport you can do. It's just really what it comes down to you and someone else on the mat. You have to overcome them, and you have to come over your own mental state that you are going to overcome them. It's really it's the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life, and I thank God that I came out for the sport. I mean, I almost did. I was like, hey, wrestling could be fun. I'll try it out. I didn't think I was going to be as into it as I am now.
Once you get past the singlets, it's golden. And I don't know if there's anything you can dislike about wrestling.
What I'm hoping now is that we are building a legacy here. We're going to start building up South Eugene. I want it to be as big as it is in Roseburg and Grants Pass eventually.
50 kids or more out here. That's what I want to see.
This year's freshman class is huge, and I'm expecting an even bigger class next year. And I'm really looking forward to watching South Eugene wrestling grow as a whole.
Definitely. I mean, our freshman year, I wouldn't say we got killed all the time. We had a good amount of decent wrestlers, but as freshmen, I got beat almost every match. I mean, probably 50-50. This year with Gabe coaching us, he's got us doing conditioning. He's got us motivated to work out and run outside of practice. Giving everything we have on the mat, doing all the essentials you need, fighting off your back, all just technique and everything else. I think Gabe's really been promoting it to our team, and he's motivated me to work out during the off season and during the season outside of practice as much as I can, because I want to be the best I can be, and I definitely would contribute most of that to Gabe. I mean, he's a great influence on me. I think he's a great influence on all the team. He just motivates us as a whole to give everything we have.
Gabe Campbell taught me to push farther than I ever have. I mean, before I did wrestling, I couldn't run a mile without falling over and dying. Now, I mean, I'll go up and I'll run such as Butte, that.
Yeah.
I'll just run and I learned how to push myself from this. And that's going to Oregon Mat Club too.
Yeah,
that's helped me a lot. With Oregon, it's more it's more technique, and you're just going and you're going and you just keep going with it. You keep working on your technique, and that's conditioning in itself. You really don't. You get 2 breaks during it.
I think right now, especially at this time period, we need to get as many people as we can to Oregon Mat Club. With the program shutting down, which hopefully it can be saved, but with the program being shut down, I think more than ever we need to get as many wrestlers on our team to get to Oregon Mat Club, not only to support Oregon wrestling, but it just makes you better as a whole. Every second of experience, either on the mat or during practice, I mean, that's the difference between a match right there. That's the difference between qualifying for state and ending your season with a loss at districts. I mean, every second you give, and I think that Oregon, I think that's a really good thing that Oregon's doing, is opening up their mat to the community and inviting other schools there to practice. Not only are you getting extra practice in, but you're getting to wrestle with kids you don't usually wrestle with in the room. Everything there is a little bit different.
You're also wrestling with D1 college athletes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough in itself. Just wrestling with them a little bit, you get so much better.
I mean, Gabe can teach you what he can teach you, but I mean, we're at one level, it's high school level, and then once you get to the next level, they know so much more than you already know. It just blows you away. You think you know everything. You know all the moves. You can slack at practice because you know everything. But I mean, once you get over there once you get up at the next level, which would be wrestling with college athletes, it's just completely different.
I think just going to the meets themselves, the Oregon meets, are
definitely
phenomenal. Like, you can learn so much from that. The wrestling there is just wow. I mean, there's so many good wrestlers there. It's definitely something I want to keep going on. I want to see in the future.
Definitely. I mean, for me, what if I was to tell you what my goal would be? My goal was to wrestle at the next level right here, and not as much as a goal, but as a dream, it was wrestling for Oregon. And if seeing that program shutting down, it's just I don't know. 3 years ago, you would ask me, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have given an opinion on it. But once you wrestle once you play do the sport, it becomes a part of you, and just to see that in our community go away, it kills me. And I think we should do everything we can do to save that.
Once you get hooked, there's no going back.
Yeah, once you pop, you just can't stop.
You see people who wrestled like 20 years ago. They come into our mat clubs and they come into the Oregon mat clubs. And they're like, wow, I can't believe I left this for so long. And they come in and they wrestle with us, and they still remember all their old moves. They still remember all the things they used to do and how much they used to love it. And then they become a part of the program itself.
Definitely. I don't think there's any other sport that connects you as much as wrestling does. I mean, what Michael said, like, people that wrestled 20 years ago are coming to the mat. Like, I mean, I play football, I've done track, I've done soccer. I don't see any of the I guess, alumni athletes coming in back in, checking how their team's doing. But wrestling, I mean, it's more than just a team; it's a family.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that we do as a family. I mean, every one of us pushes each other to go that much farther.
Once you cross to the other side of that season,
yeah,
those guys are your family for life.
Definitely.
I feel a real strong connection with the kids on my team. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah, definitely not. I don't think any other sport promotes that nearly as much as wrestling does. I mean, you don't get the little bickering like, why'd you do this, why'd you do this? I mean, wrestling just, again, I'm going to say, it's just a pure sport, and it's all on you. You're as good as you want to be. You don't have to rely on the guy standing next to you to do his part. It's all on you. So if you train and you work hard enough, you're going to be as good as you want to be. I mean, it's all on you.